Hey everyone, time for lesson 3 in fractions. Today we're going to be doing prime factorization, greatest common factor, and least common multiple. In order to have success in this, you should really have mastered the vocabulary from lesson 1 and be able to find factors of composite numbers from lesson 2. Why you should care about learning these things as we continue to go in fractions, there's going to be things here you need for reducing, for finding common denominators, so that means adding and subtracting fractions, multiplying and dividing fractions. So for all of those reasons, and just because you all like to learn, right? Exactly. Very good. Our goals for this lesson, we're going to learn how to make proper factor trees in order to find prime factorization. Then we're going to use that prime factorization in order to find greatest common factors and least common multiples of 2, 3, or however many numbers your teacher asks you to find them for. So here we go. Let's start it off. We're going to work on making a factor tree first. Now, just a reminder that prime factorization is a list of prime factors when multiplied together give a specific number. In this case, the specific number that you're being asked to find the prime factors of is 360. Okay? One of the really cool things about the factor tree is it doesn't matter what way you start. I'm going to go through it twice, so why don't you just kind of take a break and watch the first time through. You don't need to take anything down for your notes yet. I'll have you take notes on the second time through. Okay? So I'm going to break this 360 down first into 36 and 10. Now, that's because 36 times 10 is 360. Makes total sense. My phone's ringing in the background. Don't know if you can hear it or not. Okay? Hopefully it's not interrupting you too much. I promise there's not actually a class going on right now to be interrupted by it. 36 is a composite number. I know I can break it down by 6. I'm going to do that. 6 and 6. Very good. Okay, neither one of those is a prime factor yet, so I need to keep breaking them down. Finally, though, 6 is going to break down into 3 and 2. And notice, I'm going to call these leaves, okay? I'm circling the leaves. It's letting me know that that branch is done growing and I can stop. That way I'll know, like here, when we get back, oh, these branches aren't done growing. I need to keep going. That 6 will be a 3 and a 2 as well. And finally, our 10 will be a 5 and a 2. Those are both prime numbers. So now we have all of them. I like to, just for my own purposes, when I write the prime factorization out, I like to do 360, and I'm going to say, sorry about that, I'm going to put up here equals, I'm going to start with the biggest numbers first. I'm going to do a 5 times, next biggest is a 3 times, this 3 times, well, we've got 2 times 2 times 2. Okay. Notice what I'm trying to do up there is model that I'm crossing it out every time to make sure I'm not adding or losing any numbers anywhere in there, because that'll make a big difference when you go to be finding your greatest common factors or least common multiples. Okay. Now, I'm going to keep that up there so that you can see it's going to work out no matter which way you start breaking it down. I'm going to break it down a different way this time. Okay. Maybe you don't see the big numbers as well as your teacher or I do, or some of your other classmates. It's totally okay to start with a 2. So we're going to start this time, again, start taking notes. We're going to break it down. 2 is a prime number, and 2 fits into 360 180 times. Okay, if you don't know that, you're going to have to do the long division over here. Please don't be lazy. Show your work for yourself. That way you're learning it, and it'll be faster next time. It's going to fit in once, subtract it out, 1, bring down my 6, fits into 16 8 times. Okay. 2 fits into 0, 0 times. There's my answer of 180. I'm going to erase that for all of you so we have enough room. Okay. I'm showing you, don't be lazy, be willing to show your work. Okay? 180 is not a prime number. We need to keep going, break it down since it's composite. This time, well, we can do it with another 2. That's just fine. Okay? And we've got, 2 is going to fit into 18, I know, 9 times with a 0. Very good. And guess what? We can make mistakes as teachers too. There's no way that that should be circled because 90 is a composite number. I'm going to break it down by 2 again, and I know that it fits in 45 times. Circle my 2. All of these branches are done growing. They're out to leaves, but this one keeps going. Here I can do 9 and 5. Now 9 still composite, still needs to keep growing. 3, 3, those are both finished off, and 5 is finished off. That's great. Now if you'll look here with me, I'm going to have my 5 right there. I've got these 2 3s, they're coming up to right there and right there. And then my 1, 2, 3, 2s. I've got all those 1, 2, 3 right there. So it does not matter how you see the problem, how you break it down. You don't need to break it down with big numbers. You don't have to break it down with small numbers. Whatever is easiest for you. I'm more interested in you guys getting the right answer than I am doing it the exact way Mr. Gorman would do it. That's not the point of math, okay? So, all of that work just to get prime factorization. That's how you do it, okay? Once we have that prime factorization, we can use it to find a couple of different things. One's the greatest common factor. You should remember what the definition of that is. If you don't, go back and watch the lesson 1 video. It'll have that there for you. But it's going to be the biggest number, okay, that you can use between multiple numbers. We broke down 3 different numbers here for you, and I'm just going to write down their prime factorizations. 12 is going to be 3 times 2 times 2, 18, 3 times 3 times 2, and 90, again, I told you I like to start with the biggest numbers first, so 5 times 3 times 3 times 2, okay? I know in various other lesson videos you guys have seen me write out all of the different factors, go through the lists. That's not the best way. Once you get this down with the prime factorization, using the factor trees, it's going to be a lot easier. And let me show you how. We're going to start with prime factor, or with greatest common factor. Okay? And I learned this from somebody else a long time ago, and it really stuck. Okay? Right now what we're going to do is we're going to sort through these numbers. Okay, I'm going to make a list. I'm going to go with 12, 18, and 90. And I'm going to make a big L for them. Okay, a big L. And the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start up here using this prime factorization from number 12. I'm going to write my prime factors right in a row. 3, 2, 2. I'm going to cross them out because I used them. There they are. See how I'm making columns right there? Very good. Now I'm going to go over to 18, and I'm going to fill them in, and I'm going to look for matches. So I'm going to use my first 3, and I'm going to see, is there an open spot in my row for 18 that'll match with a column from the other ones? And it does, absolutely. There's a 3 right there. Now I've got another 3. But here, hold on, I can't put them there because these 2 columns right here, this column and this column, those are for 2s. I can't put a 3 there. So I need to put the 3 out there, create a new column. And finally, I've got my 2 up there. Now this 2, I can put it in either. To help you, always put it in the very first available column. Okay, always put it in the first available column. That will save you. You can make mistakes. Okay, this system will fail you if you don't follow the rules. The rule is put it in the first available column. Okay, now we've finished up with 12 and 18. Those are done. We're on to 90. 90, the first one I have is a 5. This is for 3s. This is for 2s, 3s. So I'm going to have to put my 5 over there. Okay? It has to go all the way over to the edge. Cross it out because it went in. My next up is a 3. I've got a spot for a 3 right there. Very good. Cross it out. Crossing out my next 3 for 2s. Right there for 2. Right there for 2. Found another 3 in the 90 row. Very good. And then finally I've got 1, 2, and I'm going to put it in the very first column. Now I said it was really important that you follow those rules or it won't work. This is why. When we're trying to find the greatest common factor, we can only use the prime factors that they all have in common, that they all share. Okay, so that means I can use this column because I have 1, 3 shared amongst all of those. So I'm going to bring it down and write a 3. And then for this column, I have a 2 in all of them. So I'm going to bring it down and write a 2. The very last step to find your greatest common factor, once you've used all the full columns, right? Let me help you out with this. Green means go. It's full. There's some green. Red means stop. See these open spaces? That means for greatest common factor, you can't use them. Open spaces, can't use them. Okay, so we do 3 times 2 is going to give us 6. The greatest common factor of those numbers is 6. All done. That easy. One way to remember to only use the full column, somebody showed me this. Greatest common full. Okay, they added on that little word. Okay, full. The greatest common full. That's going to help you remember those columns. Let's move on. The same numbers with least common multiple. The really cool thing about this, you've learned your prime factorization with your factor trees. You've learned how to do the sorting already. So really, I'm going to work with the green marker now, but it's the same thing. You're still going to do the same sorting and matching. Okay, so I'm going to try to go through this real quick for you so that we don't waste too much time and you can get as much time possible practicing this with your own problems. 12. Well, it was 3, 2, 2. I'm just going to go like that. Okay, with 18, I have a match for 3. And then I don't have a match for this 3, so it goes out on the edge. I have a match for this 2, though, and it goes in there. Remember, you're still using the first available column that's appropriate for that number. We're up to 90. There's nothing for the 5, so I'm going to put it down here. Cross it out. I'm going to cross out that 3, fit it in. Cross out this 3, fit it into the first available column for the right number. Get this 2, I'm going to fit it in. All right. Remember down here, down there, down there, down there, greatest common full. Well, that same person came up with something for least common multiple. For least common multiple. He said that for least common multiple, we use all of the columns. Okay, we're going to use all of them for these. So for that, we're going to need to bring down every single column and use it one time. So 3 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 5. If your teachers are like me, they're not going to let you use your calculator. If you can't do this math I'm about to do in your head, show your work. A calculator is going to get you the answer right now, but it's also going to mean you're going to need a calculator for the rest of your life. Practice doing it on the side if you can't do it quickly in your head. I promise you, the more you practice showing your work on the side, the more you're going to be able to do it in your head, and the better accuracy you'll have as well. So I'm going to erase this all right down there so that we have a little bit of room. Now, I'm going to connect these up. This 3 times 2, that's going to give me a 6. This is going to be a 6, and this is going to be 5. I'll show you what I want to do with that later, though. I want to do this. This is 36, and then I'm going to do 36 times 5. Well, the 30 and the 5 is 150, plus 6 times 5 is 100, or is just 30, so a total of 180 is our least common multiple. Okay, I'm going to write this back in there because it's really important and it's really going to be helpful for you. Least common multiple uses all of those columns. Okay, again, if you can't do the math in your head right there, do it on the side, show your work. You will learn more, your teacher will be happy. I hope this was very helpful. Look forward to working with you again. Thanks very much.